Did she? Let's just say she did. Yes. Bring it up. Predicted the last pick Ling earlier.
Well, it was either the Lucas or the Ling, right?
Yeah, it was.
That they had to ban out against King Kong, and King Kong goes for the Ling instead, which, given the fact that this is a Novaria, we'll have to play a little more careful now that they have that kind of assassin in their lineup.
So still an assassin for the Sigma jungler himself, King Kong, up against Tlph, who has been putting up 2 utilities. And so far, looking at the draft index, it seems like it's still leaning towards CLPH.
Yeah, the matchups look pretty balanced so far. The EXP, the gold lane. And now that we have this Novaria Luyi in the center of the map, we'll see how it goes and who gets the better, especially in terms of pulling out the macro.
Weebear Bros, you got this. Game number 2 on the way.
Thank you very much, Ingan and Brigitte. We do got this, and welcome back to the English desk. It's us, the Weebear Bros, and we're jumping into game number 2 here.
Would have gone sideways if Liquid did not ban the Angela.
Yep. They would have been trapped into the very strong combination that Onic themselves showed against Team Liquid in game number 3, their upper bracket finals matchup. It's a good read by Liquid. But the Ling, I don't know, maybe it's because I was hoping a bit too hard on the Lucas, that I kind of wish it was a Lucas, but still, the Ling provides the solution to reaching the Novaria, reaching the Granger.
Yeah, reaching pretty much the back line is what King Kong's going to have to do. And I feel like that was kind of the idea with the Lancelot in the previous game. It's just he wasn't able to because the front line was so good. Maybe this time with a Ling's kit, it's a little bit easier, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have diversions, which you can consider on later for that, too. Look at this Sanford, 6-0, by the way, on the glue, that we forget about all the time.
Yeah, undefeated on the glue. So let's see if Onic can put a stain on that. Yesterday, a stain was placed on the jawhead of JP, which was 10-0 heading into the playoffs. Now has 1 loss there, while Onic have a pretty even spread with their heroes. And yeah, with what you mentioned about the Ling and Lo Yi, Onic has hella super macro.
JP jumping in, looking to give Brusco a little something. Tempers Blaze going up already. King Kong wants to draw his blood. JP walks away. King Kong overextending so slightly.
Was that a mistake or?
It was Tlph being able to just knock him up at the right amount, the right time. That enhanced basic attack you can get as a Fredrin. Great timing by the GOAT.
My turn to protect you, Dad.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt, though, because you know how valuable an early kill can be for one of these types of junglers like a Ling, the assassins that really scale up quickly on this. They might still look to make some plays early on for Onic Philippines, but man, look at this.
Good echo thrown out by Sanji, setting it up. Very low, Daddy JP, Kirk draws first blood. Oh, but Tlph goes ahead and gives Brusco his first death as well. And another one, Sanji sniping from downtown.
This feels all too familiar. After seeing this for 2+ years, we're seeing it again in the grand finals. This is what you get when you play an assassin against a lineup that's hella tanky.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. I know we mentioned earlier this playoffs, like Throwback Thursday. I don't know how much we wanted to put that out there, you know, because it does feel like we're bringing it back.
I hate to be a part of the minority, but I'm enjoying this.
Are you?
I fell in love with the utility jungler meta, and I'm still in love. I'm happy this is happening again.
Yeah, that's when we really get to see the chess match that Mlbb can become. JP, though, might get caught out.
Got 2 on him. Brusco and King Kong crossing through. Echoes spots 2. I don't know if they know Super Prince is here. Pixel Brush held down. Little Wanderer up next. Tlph, the senses, dashes and retries.
Whoa, that was smooth, making that Fredrin look like a Lancelot.
I don't think he meant to do that. He wanted to slow him down, maybe.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he still got something really good that he wanted for his team.
The perception on these athletes.
My goodness. So, seems like Onic right now are just going to be stuck in this weird Groundhog Day scenario of, hey, let's go in for a fight. Oh, no, we lost. Hey, let's go in for a fight. Oh, no, we lost. And then they just try to play the macro.
I was like, what do you mean Groundhog? Like, and then I had to think about what they do, yeah.
It's a movie that his dad showed him.
Okay.
I only heard about it from my older cousins.
See, I haven't heard about it about anybody because I'm so young. Anyway, back to the game here. Again, like you mentioned, Onic Philippines struggling. And we saw this as a preview just in the last game, too. So it was the same thing. We were wondering, you know, exactly when does Onic Philippines pop off. Your diversion's going to be used. Oh, that is a fast Brusco. And anytime they decide to do that and actually send Brusco through those diversions.
Whoop.
Oh, hold on.
Sanford got that grab
Wow.
on the Kirk. Kirk spending the flicker, barely dodging the Appraiser's wrath. And here comes the cavalry. Kirk goes down.
What can Onic do, man? It's just so tanky. They don't have the damage. Their cores are literally farm-based. I think they have to double down and accept they are not going to win objectives early on, and they really just need to put farm on the hands of King Kong and Kelra.
It seems to be a really big issue every time the glue is available. You know, as this second objective gets secured by Tlph, you just can't escape the glue, and it's surprising because you see how the draft patterns are going and the ban patterns, and there's so much focus on the roam in the jungle that leaves up a lot of options for the XP lane, but every time glue's in play, seems it's hard to escape. So Kelra getting the focus now. Again, a lot of pressure here.
They're forcing a response from Kelra. Already down to 1/10 of his health. Dropping that Salmon Force behind tier 1. It's JP still holding on to the Tsunami Slam. Kelra spent his Purify, loses at tier 1 down bottom.
Sharp rotation, trade though as Onic gets the tower up top, but Team Liquid Philippines have extended the uptime for Kelra. It'll take quite some time until we really start feeling damage on that Harith. Yes, Harith is still one of the fastest scaling gold laners in the game, but he's up against a Fredrin and Glue. At most, Kelra might need to put himself in risky scenarios so that he could deal damage onto Oheb, but he's not built for that because he had to back Purify. It's not the flicker Harith that we see in the past that dives after the opposing gold laner.
Not to mention how difficult it'll be once Oheb has his eyes on him. You're a Harith, you're a mage. You can't afford a Wind of Nature. In comes the cavalry. Purify undoing JP's Tsunami Slam. The pull on a one. Brusco gets taken out by Oheb. Free pop-off here. Carlteezy pushing the advantage. Sanford following through. The rest of the cavalry behind them.
Carlteezy wants that buff. Not going to get it though as King Kong secures it. Still a fight.
Got another grab. The flicker by Kirk though, punishing Sanford.
Okay, quite expensive diversion out to the center of the map. This could be the opening that Onic was looking for. Sanford a little bit too greedy, a little bit too deep, but still have to acknowledge the fact that Liquid control the river.
Again, you look at Tlph.
Whoa, they're going again! Carlteezy almost single-handedly taking down Kirk. And JP very low. Salmon Force spent in by Kelra. Can they take down Dad? Carlteezy holding their ground. Sanji with the echoes. And that's enough of a warning shot for Liquid to score the last turtle.
Turtle number 3, and Onic can only get towers. They have to call back to their past and banana split this map up as Liquid Philippines are playing a playstyle that they shut down years ago. They're just all clumped up together, and it's working out so well for them because it's a deadlier version of the ultimate bonding experience.
Essentially, it's that, and you're seeing it happen. Even when down a member, they're still able to confidently take these fights because of just how much pure crowd control they have and the tankiness that comes with this lineup, with the Fredrin, with the glue, and even for JP. The way that they're able to support JP in that too just showcases how good Tlph has been throughout the playoffs even and the regular season.
And eventually it'll come to a point wherein Onic will be throwing back to M6, KL. Double sniper, double poke lineup that, oh my God!
Whoa.
Team Liquid ID showed Sanford! Starts to pick up, takes down Fritz all the way in the back. The grab on the Brusco. Salmon Force, the response from Kelra. Tsunami Slam on the one, down goes Brusco, and Sanford survives. Kirk diving in, King Kong from the back line. JP finally falls.
There's no way I was gonna say Sanford gets away out of that, but they're still gonna fight break out.
Inside the purple buff. Can they do this? The hit was lethal for Kirk. Kelra gets out of there.
It was started out by Sanford and Sanji. Sanford gave the vision. Sanji landed the stars. And the duo that took over the world as kids are now staring down the gods as men. The Glue and the Novaria together have been sublime in this game number 2.
And that's the thing, man. Again, Oheb has so much space, just like he did in Game 1 to work with. Half the time, Sanford's bringing the targets to Oheb to capitalize the kills. Again, regular season MVP Oheb here, looking to have a similar game from Game 1, if not a better one. Onic Philippines has to go ahead and some way, somehow, find an adjustment to these team fights breaking out.
Oh my God, 2,000 between Oheb and Kelra. Oheb early on in the season shouting, "I have no money." Look at this. How many times has he scored PPA rich guy all season long?
The storyline of the season. Oheb crying out, "I got no money, it's fake news."
You can ask my mom, my coach. We call Cap Oheb.
He's loaded in game right now, and this is the Lord for the taking here.
Very fast. Liquid is blitzing it. Kirk and Brusco knows they can't afford to do this. They collapse on the 2. Echo thrown out. Keller gets it. Oh, slicing through that lineup of Tlph.
Go!
Oh,
Salmon Force, look at that back line. Tempest ablaze on the Oheb. King Kong shutting him down. Still no kills for
Bang!
Liquid. Down goes 4. The Super Fam dismantled the cavalry.
What just happened? In a matter of a second, Onic Philippines comes back and wins and turns things around in this game.
They finally hit their power spike. Team Liquid clumped up together. King Kong, perfect entry. Kelra with the damage. Onic are online and Liquid are worried.
Kelra dropping that Salmon Force underneath. Tier 3 up top. Penetrated the base of Tlph. Echoes thrown out just to make sure that Onic are truly retreating. But the gold lead swings. Suddenly, it's now Onic up by 500.
And I don't know if that was just the matter of they got outmaneuvered when Onic Philippines came in and King Kong saw blood and he was able to go for it on the right targets. That was a massive just kind of mistake on positioning for Tlph.
Yeah, exactly. We got to see there one of the biggest problems of a lineup that wants to stick together going up against a Loyi that we pointed out in the draft. The duality procs, those little pullbacks that you can dish out along with a great amount of damage paired up with the Salmon Force of the Harith means that Team Liquid Philippines are just receiving lots of magic damage. Yes, they have Athena shields and Radiant armors, but then at this point, the magic damage burst of the 2 heroes combined is just overwhelming.
For a huge part, I think it was just Liquid, eyes on the Lord, and they didn't keep tabs on Keller. They keep tabs on King Kong. Brusco here, put down to 1/10 of his health. Echo's thrown out. Oheb gets a kill. Now Super Prince calling it quits. Diversion out.
Defensive diversion on out, but man, look at the range that Tlph has. That seems to be a big problem when either you're getting shot from a distance from Sanji or Oheb. And now they're on the defense here for the base. The shield's gonna pop in the mid, but Lord was handled. So ultimately, Onic Philippines, they found themselves more time, but they have to keep King Kong pushing across the map as well.
It's crazy how disgusting Sanji's damage is, because for majority of this game, he's mostly just had the glowing wand and the blood wings. He just built up the lightning truncheon. The fact that he went for the magic penetration boots and he did pair up with rupture as well, maybe that's where that damage is coming from. But then at the same time, he has so much forward vision that he can maximize the damage right at the end of the animation of the Astral Echo.
This is what you guys are talking
Shatter.
about. Yeah, the Shatter is it's tough to deal with, but look at the gap is still there. You guys pointed this out earlier on. Kelra's still, what, 2,000 gold behind for Oheb, but at some point, this Harith will come online, and I still think a part of the game plan for Onic to turn this game around into a win has to be utilizing Super Friends here. The diversions are going to be key.
Yeah, that's the scary part here, Joseph. The fact that Kelra will still go online, I'd argue he is online. I'd argue those 3 items right now are enough to punish Sanji and Oheb. Diversion play, back into the purple buff pit. Onic, I think they're positioning. They want to contest.
Yeah, this is good for them. Once they get the vision that Glue is actually up top, they might go for... Ah, no, they can't. King Kong needs to get his orange buff first.
Oh, and Tlph knows this. Carl-TZ will bring this out, but I'm not sure if they commit to it just yet. They'll hold it for now. It's going to go and reset on the Lord. So they got the information. King Kong didn't even get his orange. He's just waiting. He knows, possibly knows the purple buff too for Tlph is up. So maybe they make a play. Maybe they just want to go for this tier 1 turret to open up some of the map. But again, Tlph is playing good defense on controlling things to have it in their favor. Now the big thing once again is Super Prince's diversion is up. They can go ahead and get into a better position. We'll see how Tlph plays against this. Now it's Onic Philippines starting up this Lord here, holding it about half health. There they go, Brusco.
The Super Fam dogpiling on his major objective. Lord at about 1/5 of its health. Finally collapsing on Carl-TZ. King Kong secures the diversion set up. Brusco gets popped by Oheb. And they're not done. Liquid once more, but Onic says we're out of here.
Great move by Onic to run right away. They even committed the diversion to make sure Kirk and Super Prince would be able to run. You saw Carl trying to chase after Kelra, but just did not have enough speed to catch up to him. And of course, King Kong on the lane just flying away. Fantastic call by Onic. They pushed back Carl. They broke the formation of Liquid so easily. And even though a massive Astral Echo by Sanji meant Onic were vulnerable, they held on, they stood strong, and now they can break base turrets.
That was masterful. I think one of the best Lord heists I've seen all playoffs long.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying, man. Diversion doesn't mean necessarily aggressively, even on the defense, like just to get out of there and throw Brusco, the Bruiser, into the fire is going to be fine. You know, if that's the game plan to get you the objective, it buys you more time. You now get a couple extra turrets down too. And it gets to a point where Onic Philippines should be in fighting position, but you're seeing a preview of Tlph's defense that they can actually still pull off with this lineup. So it might be a couple more minutes before Onic Philippines can actually get into the base to end it here.
Yeah, Onic needs to keep this formation tight. Just sent King Kong to the far lanes just to manage waves. You don't necessarily need to send him to break towers. Just pull 1 or 2 members of Team Liquid Philippines to clear minion waves, and then that's your advantage already made for the major objective fights.
As is, there's a natural advantage for Onic given that Lord is spawning away from long lane, and long lane is penetrated.
Yeah.
So Onic has to double down on that fact and say, hey, Liquid, if you don't watch that lane, we can go for a split.
I think that's what was so important earlier on when they got that turret down, when it was Tlph that got the Lord, right? That moment earlier on in the game could end up being one of those decisions where it ends up being a victory, because we already know what's going to happen. King Kong is going to be planted over there, right? And putting pressure on that side, that weak lane right now for Tlph. So a big part of it is how do they defend against that?
Here's what's scary, Joseph. It doesn't have to be King Kong.
It doesn't have to be.
Sanji knows Super Prince can do just the same.
That's true.
He tried to do that the other night.
Have to watch out for the low Yi. Maybe that's something the Team Liquid Philippines might overthink in some scenarios too, right? It's like, hey guys, we have to be careful. Some of us have to stay back, you know, and then that even gives Onic more space. So let's see how Team Liquid Philippines will decide to play this. They're gonna have to accept one gambit at some point. That can't win everything in this scenario. You're gonna have to make a play. But their play right now is just pure defense. Lord's gonna be up in 10 though. That minion wave up top is the biggest eyesore for Liquid right now.
You can see the positioning too Onic Philippines is going to do. This is playing around. Whoa! Here it is.
They find 40. 40 flickers out. Gets that spread, and he's holding his ground here. He's committing to defending this long lane.
They get a flicker out, so that's at least something. For now, though, the Lord's going to be started up by Tlph.
Oh, Lord approaching half health.
Wow.
The rest of Onic coming through. Brusco first to the pit. Oh, they spaced out. Cole commits to it, taking down the Lord, but he gets popped by by Kelra, and that's it. A body for a Lord. That's a good deal.
What do they do from here, though? Do they just push it in? I know they got the Lord. Tlph, are they going to be fine here?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. They're going to be down 1 man. Onic Philippines can play this aggressive, try to play for the turrets. They can allow the Lord to just push out of the base while they spend time just trying to take towers down with their own minion waves. But I think they have to pull back just a little bit. They don't need to go all the way back past to their side of the river, though. Unless... are Liquid actually going to force them all the way back?
I guess so. It just seems like there's not really an option for Onic Philippines to go in too much, but deal with the Lord unless they force a fight. They're going to push him back a little bit more, though. Just deal with the Lord, try to maintain control.
The slow approach to this fight, just waiting to break out. Sanford finds Kirk, gets that grab on him, disengages. Here comes comrades-in-arms coming in from the flank. Oh, Onic are collapsing down on the 40. Spread. They were just slowing down Onic's advantages.
All right, so Onic were not pushed back towards their side of the river. Towards the center of the map, not so bad. King Kong has been full built alongside Kelra for quite some time now. Of course, Tlph playing the utility jungle. We don't have to look at the gold of the Brethren. The items are good on the way to the immortality. Now that he has Guardian Helmet, should be even tankier. He can initiate now confidently if it's not going to be Sanford or JP. Meanwhile, Oheb has already been full built as well. does have the wind of nature as the Ling is his big problem, but he doesn't have a lot of magic defense. So if Keller can penetrate the formation of Liquid and reach Oheb, that Granger's going to be a sitting duck.
And Keller's pretty much fully locked in. Not sure if he's going to swap some items through later on, but ultimately, it's come down to this. They've bought enough time. I mean, we were saying that the Onic Philippines had to do that. Well, they're almost at the 20-minute mark. This next Lord that comes up is going to be crucial, but I think the game plan is still going to be the same because nothing has really changed since that last Lord take.
Yep.
There weren't any extra turrets taken down, but they've basically built themselves up to where they need to be. Even a couple more immortalities for Onic Philippines could change the course of some of these team fights. So even for Tlph, the biggest advantage they have right now is the vision provided by Sanji. Sanji can go ahead and do that. They've got tanky enough front line between Sanford where they can actually scout things out. And as the game progresses here, you know, Sanji's poking ability is going to be a problem alongside then when Oheb can sweep in. As long as JP gets some of the purifies down, I would say, from Onic Philippines, they should have an advantage in the team fight, I would say, around the next Lord here.
Good read on the map by Sanji. That's vision. Won't stop any major sequences, but that's a bit of info considering that they're close to the purple buff. Where's this diversion going, man? Oh, no, it's just there. Okay. Thought it was an off map. I couldn't find the
the little
the indicator of where it was.
You know, sometimes I feel like it pops up and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's just me or if I'm just colorblind.
Luyi does show herself in the map for a brief moment as she casts the diversion. So Liquid knows that Onic are playing with this Lord, meaning they're using it to bait. And I don't know, Liquid looks like half and half. Like they want to contest, but they don't.
Again, they're just stuck right now. If earlier, Onic in the early to mid game was like, oh, we just keep losing fights, we keep taking them. Now, Team Liquid Philippines, it seems like they're worried of a fight that they might lose. They're being so cautious, so defensive. I mean, rightfully so. The one time they slipped up in their positioning and it led to this with Onic in full control of the game for the past, what, 10 minutes now?
Yeah.
So it's understandable, but then again, at the same time, gonna have to pull something off somehow, some way. But Onic, also to credit them, they're not giving those openings to Team Liquid Philippines. They're playing as a unit incredibly well. They're holding the right areas. This vision again provided by Sanji. Let's see how well Team Liquid Philippines can contest this. And again, Sanford stuck up top.
This is the dance that we're used to seeing. A little bit different. A little bit of different. Oh, whoa!
Super Friends from nowhere! Just taking down Oheb. He didn't see that coming. A man down is Liquid. Here comes a Super Fab collapsing down onto the cavalry. Forced them back out of here. Tempest of Blades by King Kong taking down Tlph. Oh, JP with a defensive maneuver, the Tsunami Slam, but it's a little too late as JP goes down. Sanji, the lone stallion, left alone once again.
Well, Oheb didn't even get to blink and he was taken out, and now Onic in control. They're going to push the waves in.
Diversion again by Super Friends.
Sanji's trying, man. Sanji's just buying time, but he is just delaying the inevitable. In mid, King Kong, Kirk and Kelra taking care of the waves.
That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Super Fam, the defending champions are on the board, 1-1.
The monster under your bed does not exist, but the monster made sure.